Hello everybody, it's me, Amiga Rob here, and today I'm going to be looking at the Wilko surge protected 2 meter 10-way tower extension lead with USB socket cable, which I picked up for £19. It was £24, but they've got a promotion on. It's £19. They got something similar that's £1 less. It doesn't have a USB charger in on it, but I'm not really a big fan of USB chargers on devices because they sort of sit there running power. You know, they sort of take power off, and they drain power all the time. But I thought I'd get this one because I don't know why. It's got a couple of configurations here. You can have it standing up, we can have it like that along the back. It's going to go into my new nerve center corner here of my nerve center, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's I thought I'd get it. Wilko's is, most people have got one nearby them, and I just nipped in and got one because I needed a few plug sockets short, always short. But it's surge protected, which I'm never that keen on surge protection. I kind of sometimes get the surge protection. I think normally there's like a big capacitor or something in there that just smooths things a bit if a big jolt of power comes in. But the thing is, they always eventually fail, and when they fail they tend to blow up and they can leave a bit of a mark on the floor, and I guess there's an outside risk of fire. Yeah, so I thought I'd get this. I've got a lot of screens and things in this corner. I'm going to make a video about these screens I'm putting together at some point. When I say screens, I don't mean high drain power screens. We're talking I'm doing something quite clever, but I mean, there's some warnings. Do not drop the unit and stop use if the case becomes damaged or broken. Do not attempt to dismantle, modify, no serviceable parts inside. Do not use if the surge operational indicator is not illuminated, which means it would have blown up. You thought though, if they're going to do that, then it would cut the power, but very often you see surge protected adapters where the light is off and people haven't even noticed, they're just using it. So yeah, it's got a cord cable apparently, and yeah, 2.1 amps. You're not really going to be plugging much into these. And are they switch the plugs? No, they're not. You probably can't do on a surge protected one anyway. I guess it caused a bit of a spike, I guess, or something like that. So yeah, on the back it's got USB sockets, powered USB sockets for charging a mobile phone, camera, MP3 player, or any standard USB charged device. 2.1 amp across 2 outputs. Power indicator, surge indicator, 10 surge protected sockets, and 2 meters of cable. And it's got 2 support feet which are in the bottom there. So let's open it up and have a look, shall we? Without any further ado. You've got a great view of my ceiling there. I would have positioned this camera a little bit better if I thought about it. If I'd really thought about it, I would have brought a pair of scissors or something just to... But no, let's just do this the manly way and just pick our way through this here. Here we go. Alright, I'll come up the top there. It's got one of them little round stickers. There we go. Oh no, there's another little sticker on the side there. Oh, that's good. It's got 3 stickers, one on each side. How amazing. 1 sticker ain't good enough. 3 times more stickers than I think are really required. I think 1 sticker's a bit much, really. Right. Here we go. Oh, so it's the handle that just dropped off, is it? Oh, okay, right. Got a couple of feet, 1 foot. Oh yeah, it's very cheapy plastic, very much like the rest of their things. This doesn't feel like a very... Oh, some little instructions. So, and yeah, so basically you've got a normal strip which just has a foot that sits at the bottom. Cheap, fairly cheap. Masterplug of Telford. £13 240 volts. Actually measures the total number of watts it can take, which is 3,120. Instructions. Hundreds of power surges can occur in having office every day. Blah blah blah. Dual USB power output. 5 volts, 2.1 volts. You don't want to be plugging more than one thing in this unless it's really low draw. Like maybe you've got a little USB lamp or something you want to plug in. Safety thermal clamping voltage. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So you've got the choice of either going. How does this work? Okay. Oh look, there's the indicator, there's your USB things. I guess if you got it, you want to mount it that way. So you've got access to the USB and the things, or you do it like this, and I think I'm going to go like this in the corner. But what's the deal with this? Right, I'll tell you what, first things first, I'll mount it, try it this way. Hang on. How does it work? If you do it that way, you're going to go over one of the plug sockets. Oh, right, so the way you do it, oh yeah, it's not very robust at all this, you just plonk it on like that. There you go, scratch it all up straight away. Like that, there you go, that's the transformed into the standing way that way, I mean that's alright. And then on the end, so it's got a bit dirty inside. So you kind of, is it up? Okay, yeah, you go up like this. Like that. And then, I guess you just push it. Have a scratch on it. There you go. Come off quite easy. That's not too bad. It's fairly so it's cheap and cheerful. You can get better for probably 19 quid. Dirty again still. Masterplug. Well, Masterplug are the guys. When it comes to these things, these are the boys. Right, I've made one slight mistake in this whole thing because I've got two plugs here, and one is the computer that is plugged into already to a multi-plug here. So what I want to do is actually plug something in, and all I've got is this screen that I'm working off of. So let's go blind for a bit here. Ooh, screen is now off. I've unplugged it. We'll stick it into this top one here. We'll flick it on. Hopefully it won't blow up. In he goes. Oh, plugs a little bit. Oh, didn't take the cardboard thing off. Cardboard thingy comes off. Just a normal plug. It feels a bit cheap for Masterplug, even though screen is coming back on. Is it? Let's see. Here we go. Screen comes back on, and yeah, it seems alright. Look at the state of my hair. Yeah, it's alright. It'll sit in the corner. The lights have come on. Got your power, you got your surge protector, max 10.5 watts across there, 2.1 amps. Now let me go and fetch my phone, and I can try that on the charging section, which again I'm just sort of, I do feel a bit, if I was like Big Clive, I would now have a load tester and be telling you what voltage was coming across there, but I don't have that, so let's have a look and see what we got. Oh, nearly put it. No, that is the way it's a bit silent. Okay. Well, it's charging. Let's see how long it takes. It's funny, I wonder why that bit of cardboard has got a B on the back. Well, it's charging and it's 2.1 amps, so what more can you say about it? It's working. So I would say, all in all, if you need to get hold of, you can probably get something that looks a lot nicer, that feels a bit, I've got a feeling this is going to yellow quite a bit. I mean, I've got a, is that a Masterplug? I've got another one over there. Yeah, these things tend to yellow. It's 10 plugs, you ain't going to run out of plugs unless you use an awful lot of plugs, and in these day and age where you've got a lot of adapters, I'm going to have a few screens in this corner and they're not going to be very high drain, so it makes sense in a way to use something like this. They're angled, which I guess, I mean, let's grab a few things. Hey, why don't we just try grabbing a few things and plugging them in? Because what with all the big adapters we have these days, there's always that chance you're going to hit something that doesn't want to fit in the socket. So let's have a look what we've got here. Because there might be something adjacent. I don't know. Does having it at that angle make a massive difference? I'm not sure, but let's see. I guess it's less. I don't know. Will we get less dust in? I've got a pie here. Let's try it. Pie's in there, it's firing up. It's got another adapter. Is this going to fit? That just fits. And to be fair, I mean, you've got a lot of things on there. You could always space them out, but I mean, I'm going to get the other. I'm going to get my Masterplug in it. So is it Master? Sorry, yeah, it looks like another. It's a surged one here. Let's have a look. Plug. I think the surge has actually gone on this one, to be honest. It's all tangled up. Yeah, I don't think this idea of the angle is so good. I've got a feeling it makes it. Who's the maker? I think this is Masterplug. So they branded it as it's Wilkinson's branded on the box, but it's actually Masterplug, generic thing. And yeah, this is a Masterplug as well, but this one's a switched one. You can see, I mean, it's yellowed up a lot. This something rattling in there as well. And I've probably had this one for about 8 years or something. But it's yellow, but it's a nicer plastic, feels firmer. It's got the screws on the back so you can mount it on the wall. To be honest, I prefer it to this one, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 on this. I need more than 6 in this corner. So I've got a ton of drives, and to be honest, it's going to be a lot of drives that I'm using now. Let's have a quick look to see if we've got the same, because that just fits, and two of them adapters I don't think will fit. Now, yeah, there you go, look. On this with the switch, it's one of the advantages of the switch, you get a lot more space between them. You can fit a bigger adapter on. So I think you have to keep that in mind. That is going to be a little bit of a problem, but I can always space them out a little bit. I'm not going to need, well, I'm going to need a few drive ones, so might be a problem actually. It might be a problem. I wonder why they would do that, because this is a little bit longer overall, and then you've got that big space at the bottom for the yeah, maybe not the best idea. Maybe not the best idea. You get 10 sockets, but can you use them all? I don't know. I mean, the plan is I'm going to have a Mac on this one. I'm going to have a few ordinary size plugs, Mac, screen, probably another screen, but that's probably going to be one of these running it. Then I've got about 5 or 6 discs I want to get plugged in at the same time. I might be alright. We'll see, but that's a big difference in the space between them. That was very tight on that other one. This one is a little bit smaller than the other ones. I don't think I've got another charger to hand that I could try it with. On the power supply. unless that's one new. Very, very tricky. Oh no, here we go. Here's another one. Right, so yeah, these are two pretty much the same charger. You get a lot of these 12 volt, they're about the same size. Tons of these, Seagate, Toshiba, all different companies use these ones that are about the same design. They're, I think they're 12 volt, 2 amps or something like that. And I've got a few things that I drive with that. Right, so take those two. Ooh. They fit comfortably on that 6er there, but I mean straight away this one doesn't want to go in there, and that's just an ordinary plug next to it. Let's try that. That's just an ordinary plug and it don't fit, and it's only a little bit. It's only a tiny bit. Do you know what? I'm going to take this back. This is not really of much use to me. How dumb is that? How dumb is that? Because you might. What's the point of having 10 sockets if you can't use them? Because it only needs. If they'd made it like a centimetre taller, because there's no way I'm going to be able to plug two of those next to each other. No, I mean, you can force it in, but it ain't good. And it won't go on the next one. Wow, that's poor. That is poor. No, it's too much of a push to put that in. That is poor. So yeah, I can't recommend this, unfortunately. That's a pretty glaring design flaw. If they had about another 3mm on the side of each one, so you're going to add probably 2 centimeters to the height of it, it would be much more useful. Or if they turned them so they were 90, I'm sure that would fit. If they were 90 degrees, or 45 degrees turned that way, so they were like a normal orientation. If they were like that, I'm sure they'd fit. It's going back. It's going back to the shop, unfortunately. I can't use it. It's useless. Well, that's my review. Unfortunately, I have to say sorry. The £19 Masterplug boxed up at Wilko's as the 2 meter 10-way tower extension lead with USB socket is useless because you can't use the sockets because you can't fit a plug and a standard hard drive thing in the same one. So I unfortunately I am unplugging it and it's going back to the shop. I'm wanting to use this, but it's going back. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching, and you take care. Can't recommend it. Does not get the seal of approval.